Hello there, everybody. My name's Tim, and I am from lessonsontheweb.com. I'm here today to give you your ultimate guide to getting started playing the piano. So who is this guide for? Well, this guide is for somebody who doesn't know anything really, or maybe you were taught a long time ago and you just don't quite remember everything, and you're just kind of overwhelmed at the information that's out there, and you just want a good starting point, where to start, not just diving in right into note reading and all that other advanced stuff. Just, how to get your hands on the piano, how to figure out where a couple notes are, and just a good place to start. So in this guide, we're going to cover 4 major topics. The first topic is the musical alphabet. While the musical alphabet is incredibly easy to understand, it's very important because you have to know that you're not going to be playing any note Q's or S's or Z's or any of that other stuff. So you just have to know how that works, and it will help with the next thing we're going to learn, which is how to find notes on the keyboard. So obviously you have to know where a C is, where a D is, where an A is, and just know that those notes repeat up and down the keyboard. So I'll show you, we'll start with middle C, and then I'll show you how to find notes from there, and some other tips on how to find notes on the keyboard. The third thing we're going to learn about are finger numbers, of course. Now this is another really easy thing to understand. Like I said, I want this guide to not overwhelm you, be very simple starting place. And finger numbers are just very important in playing up and down the keyboard effectively. Not the most exciting thing in the world, very easy to understand, but very important nonetheless. And then we're going to finish out this guide by playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. So you'll go in this guide, from playing nothing to learning how to play a very simple song. Now we're not going to use sheet music. I'm not going to show you any advanced tips and tricks in this video. I will in future videos, of course. But these are just the basics today. So we're going to go from nothing to, a little bit. Now, obviously, you're not going to become a piano master in 15 minutes by watching this video. Realistically, that doesn't happen. But if you're just looking for that very good starting point, knowing nothing, you found the right place. And one more thing I wanted to tell you about is that if you ever have any questions or comments during the video, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get back to them. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the piano, let's get started, and let's start our new music education. So let's go. Alright everybody, so time for our very first step. Are you ready to get started? Because I know I am. Anyways, like I said, we're going to learn the musical alphabet first today, and as I mentioned before, it's a very easy thing to understand, but very, very important. Not only in playing the piano and knowing how the piano is laid out, but very important in music and understanding how music works as well. So let's just get started in what the musical alphabet is all about. Well, one thing you want to know about the musical alphabet is that it starts on A. Wow, right? And it goes from A to G and then repeats. So what that means is that the musical alphabet will go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and if it keeps going, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You got it so far? Well, there's a little bit more to it than that. You also want to be able to say this alphabet backwards, and I'll tell you in more in depth in the next section, but right now I'm just going to tell you that you want to say it backwards, so you want to be able to say A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then you would be able to say G, F, E, D, C, B, A, and then keep going. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, going back forward. So you want to be fluent, I guess you could say, might be the word for that, in saying the alphabet forwards and backwards, and I'll show you exactly why in a minute. One other thing is I want to remind you to use the content I wrote on Instructables.com. That guide there goes right along with this video. It's basically like written documentation of the video, giving you a little bit more information in written text format. A great way to keep notes, and yeah, so go there and check out the guide there. But anyway, enough about the musical alphabet. Real quick review. It's from A to G, and then it repeats. And then one thing you want to practice is saying it forwards, and then another thing you want to practice is saying it backwards. So hopefully I haven't lost you so far. Remember to leave any questions in the comments. But if you don't have any, let's just move on to the next section. Okay, everybody, time for finding notes on this magical thing we call the piano keyboard. This is the board with the keys on it. Make sense? Well, we have to figure out how to find different notes on this thing to be able to play it. So you may have noticed that the piano is made up of a pattern of black keys and purple keys. No, white keys. That's right. Black keys and white keys, of course. So you may have noticed that there is a pattern of the black keys. Now, if you have a full-size piano, the first black key will be all by its lonesome. You can't see it here. So I don't have the camera wide enough. But you may be wondering, if you have a full-size piano, that the first one starts with a group of 1. It's just by itself, one black key by itself. And then after that, they're grouped in groups of 2, 3, 2. You can start to see my hand now. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, all the way up the keyboard. So the only exception to the 2, 3 grouping is if you have a full 88 key keyboard, that first one's going to be by itself. And that's just because the piano starts with A and ends with C. And to begin on A, you have to have one black key there. You'll know what I'm talking about in a minute, but let's just get right to the meat of the lesson here, which is how to find notes here. So, the groupings of 2s and 3s is going to be used to our advantage, because we're going to use that to figure out where we are on the keyboard and where these notes are. Keep in mind that when you find a note, that note is the same. It's the same letter no matter where, if it's on the same position in the keyboard. So what I mean by that is, if you want to find the note C, you find a group of 2 black keys. Here we go. And you take your left black key and you go down and to the left by 1. And that gives you C. So no matter where on the piano that this group of 2 is here, you go to the left one and down one, that's always going to be C no matter what. So you can always use your group of 2 to figure out where C is. Pretty easy. But again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to get to them. So, let's find another C. So what do you do? Well, the first thing you do is you find a group of 2, right? Oh, here we go. Group of 2, perfect. Go to that left one, down into the left by 1. That's a C. So that's C everywhere on the piano. And for your information, this one right in the middle is called middle C. Chances are you have a maker, or like a maker's mark of your piano, or if you have a keyboard, you may have an LCD screen or some buttons here right in the middle. And the C closest to where you sit, chances are that's going to be middle C. But anyways, there's another way to figure out where the rest of these notes are. So the first thing to do is to find C. Well, we know how to do that, right? And then be able to count forwards and backwards on the alphabet to figure out where these notes are. So what I mean by that is that the very next white key is D, because D comes after C in the alphabet. So if you're going this way, you're going forward in the alphabet. If you're going that way, you're going backwards in the alphabet. Now you probably know why I told you to learn the musical alphabet backwards. But anyways, you start with C, and the next one's D, E, F, G, H, right? No, that one isn't H. That one is going to be A, because remember that the musical alphabet starts at A, goes to G, and then repeats. Now let me get to why you want to know the alphabet backwards. Well, you want to start with C, and then instead of, if you want to figure out this note, instead of like counting all the way up here again, which would take too much time, you count backwards. So we have C. What's before C in the alphabet? Well, B, right? What's before B? Well, of course, A. What's before A? Z, right? This is note Z, right? No, not note Z, note G. So keep in mind that before A in the musical alphabet is G, not in the alphabet that most of us know. So you have C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Then you want to go forwards as well. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So you want to get proficient at counting up, counting down on the keyboard. Now there's another way to do this. Well, what is that way? Well, we already kind of talked about it, which is to find the notes in relation to the groups of 2 and groups of 3 black keys. So what you do is, if you want to memorize where D is, you say, okay, find a group of 2, and D is always, no matter what, in the middle of the keyboard. Or not in the middle of the keyboard, I meant in the middle of the group of 2 black keys. Now E is always to the right of the 2 black keys, if you want to memorize where E is. If you want to memorize where F is, you would say to the left of these 3 black keys. G is in between the left 2 in the group of 3. A is between the right 2 in the group of 3. B is directly to the right of that group of 3. And then we're back to, what is this note? Well, it's C, right? Because we have the group of 2 right here, and there's C. So there's 2 ways to do this. The first way is finding C, and then counting up and down. I suggest both of these ways, practicing both of these. And then you want to, another way to do it is you want to find where they are in relation to each of these groups of 3s. So if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments. I know I say that a lot, but I really want to make sure if you're confused about anything that we straighten that out so you have a very good, pleasant music education experience. So that's really all I have to say about finding notes on the keyboard. So yeah, let's go on to the next segment. Alright everybody, now it's time for the next part of the guide where we're going to talk again about something pretty simple but very important. So we're going to be talking about our finger numbers. So chances are you have 2 hands and 5 fingers on each hand. Finger numbers only go from 1 to 5. So what is the deal with that since you have 10 total fingers? Well, what they do is that you have a finger 1 on each of your hands, a finger 2 on each of your hands, 3, 4, and 5. So you're counting from 1 to 5 on each hand rather than counting from 1 to 10. That would be a little too confusing. It's a lot easier to say finger 2 with your left hand and finger 3 or finger 2 with your right hand rather than, finger 2 and finger 8. That would be kind of weird. So what the rule is that you always want to start from your thumb. No matter which hand, your thumb is number 1. Thumbs up for number 1. Number 2 is always going to be your pointer finger, no matter which hand. The number 3 is going to be your middle finger, of course, no matter which hand. Ring finger is 4, no matter which hand. And then pinky's 5. Again, you can probably guess what I'm going to say next, no matter which hand. So again, thumb's 1, then you got 2, 3, 4, and then finally 5. So let's go over a few of these. What finger is this one? Think about it. Maybe you want to write it in the comments. I don't know. But this is finger 2, right? Because you start with your thumb, and then you move on to 2. And then, of course, you are going to go to 3, 4, and 5. Let's do another one. How about, what finger is this one? Well, it's your middle finger, right? Well, it's 3. 1, 2, and 3. Just careful not to show anybody your third finger and only your third finger. Remember when you're showing this, you always want to point to the finger you want. You never want to just put one of those fingers up at a time. I'm not going to do that. You can probably guess why. I've accidentally done it before. But anyways, remember fingers 1 to 5, no matter which hand. And even though it's very easy to understand, very important because music will often tell you to play a certain note, a certain finger. We'll see that at the end of this guide when we finally play Mary Had a Little Lamb. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, remember to leave them down in the comments section. Of course, where else would they go? But leave your questions there if you're confused on anything, and I'll do my best to get back to you. And of course, if you are another student and you see somebody's question you know the answer to, and you're definitely sure you know the answer to, feel free to share your experience and your expertise. Alright everybody, here we are for the final section in this guide, which is how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the piano. So we are going to play this with both our right hand and our left hand, but we're going to play it hands separate, and we're not going to use sheet music. I don't want to confuse you with that right now, so we're just going to go very easy, just to not overwhelm you like I mentioned earlier. So the first thing we have to do is we have to get our hand in position. So we're going to go over our right hand first. So what you need to do is you need to put your thumb, finger 1 I should say, which is your thumb, you put this right on C. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lay your next finger over D, the next one over E, F, and G. You always want to make sure that you're curving your fingers when you play. This will help you when playing up and down the keyboard more effectively. So what you want to do is you want to put your hand here, and you're going to start with this next finger pattern that I'm going to give you. You're going to start with finger 3, and then you're going to go to 2, to 1, back up to 2, and then 3 on finger 3. Should sound familiar so far. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to hit 3 on finger 2, and then you're going to hit finger 3, and then 2 with finger 5. Next, you're going to repeat the pattern by playing 3, 2, 1, 2, and then 3, 3, 3 again. And then to finish out the song, it's 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. Now you may want to go over this section, that section of the video with the finger numbers a few times. Now I'm going to go over it in terms of letters. So Mary Had a Little Lamb starts with E, it goes down to D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, G, G. Then you kind of start the pattern over again where you have E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Now it's going to change a little bit to end it. It's D, D, E, D, C. And there we finish the song with our right hand. So you just may want to go over just the right hand a few times by itself, especially if you are a complete beginner, which this specific video is for. And you want to go over just with your right hand until you feel like you have it almost mastered and that you can play it at a decent speed. There you go. So once it sounds like that, you want to move on to your left hand. Now what we want to do is get our hand in position with our left hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take finger 5. I almost pointed to it, finger 5. What finger is finger 5? Think about it. Your pinky, right? Remember thumb to pinky, like we talked about earlier? So you want to put your pinky on C down here and play that. Now what you want to do is you want to set your next finger on D, and then on E, then on F, and then on G. And now your hand is in position for this. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to give it the finger numbers to you once again. We'll do a round of that. And then we're going to go through it explaining what the notes are, just like last time. So what you're going to do now is the fingering is a little different. You have E, well, we're supposed to do finger numbers. So you have 3, not E, and then you have 4, 5, 4, and then 3 threes, just like last time. And then you have 3 Ds. And next you have an E, and then 2 Gs. Next, you're going to start the pattern over again with 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 3, 3. And then it's, at the end, 4, 4, 3, 4, and then 5 to finish it out. Next we're going to go over the notes and what the notes are for this song. Same as with the right hand, but now we're going to just, I'm going to say it along while we play with our left hand. Now we have E, D, C, D, E, 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 and then D, 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 and then you have E, G, G. Next we're going to start the pattern over again. E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Now to finish out the pattern, it's D, D, E, D, C. So like before, you want to go over this part of the video as many times as you need to get the left hand down. And then you want to just practice it until you have it. You can play it fluently back from the beginning to the end without many mistakes and at a decent speed. But it may take you time. So if you're playing these and it's taking you a lot of time and you can only play it real slow, that's okay. That's a nice start. So there we go. That finishes out Mary Had a Little Lamb. We played it both hands separate. If you want to learn it hands together, that may be a little more complicated for this lesson, but certainly you can practice that if you want after you master hands separately. So there we go. As promised, you went from knowing pretty much nothing to playing our first song. Now, it's probably not something that will, highly impress your friends, or maybe it will. But it is, a small victory, a small starting point for you and your new journey trying to learn piano, and that's what this video is all about. So that concludes this section. Let's move on to the outro. Alright everybody, so that concludes this ultimate guide for starting out learning how to play the piano. So we talked about some very introductory things today. If you felt like this lesson was too slow, then I have some other things for you, which I'll announce in just a minute. But some of the things that we talked about today, very introductory things, where the first thing was the musical alphabet. Just a quick thing about the musical alphabet, goes from A to G and then repeats. You want to practice saying this forwards and backwards for the reasons that we discussed during the lesson. The second thing we learned about was finding notes on the keyboard. Remember, you find the note C by finding the group of two black keys. You go to the left black key, down and to the left, that's C, and then you can find out the other notes from there. But check out that section of the video again if you want more tips on how to find notes up and down on the piano. And of course, that's something you want to practice. You want to practice finding just random notes, like say, okay, I want to find a note F on the piano, play all those Fs, find a note C, play all those Cs, and go through it like that, just so you're a little bit more familiar on the layout of the piano keyboard. One of the other things we talked about was finger numbers. Remember that we have two hands with 5 fingers on each hand, and that thumb is number 1, pinky is number 5, no matter what. Again, see that part of the video if you need a review of that. And then the last thing we went over is how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Very simply, we didn't go in depth about it, we didn't read the sheet music to it, we just kind of got our hands on the keyboard and just played our very first song. So anyway, to wrap it all up, I really hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's Lessons on the Web's mission to teach the world music and piano, and I want to reach out to the far reaches of the globe to do this, to teach people who may not have had the chance to learn music on their own or learn it with another teacher. Maybe the teacher's not available for them, or they just can't afford the lessons every single week, because it can get pretty pricey. So the mission is to make music education more available to people around the world. So if you want to help me in this mission, what I need you to do, or what you can do if you want, you don't have to of course, is share this video with your friends, family, or just random people, on social media, and just tell people about this video and tell people about Lessons on the Web, and hopefully we can get a few more people at least playing the piano. That would be awesome, I think. And one last thing I want to tell you about is to head over to my website, lessonsontheweb.com. So if you really like this video and you really like the other videos I put out, that's the place to go, I think. Of course, I would think that. But anyways, what you want to look into on that website is the Lessons on the Web Music Academy, where it's really my premium collection of videos, practice assignments, printouts. It comes with a lot more things than what this guide comes with, to help reinforce your learning, and the topics covered there far expand what my YouTube channel is going to cover. So if you want to learn a lot more, head over there, and if you like my style of teaching or you like these videos, head over there, and there's a lot more you can take advantage of. You can also take a look at the free trial over on the site if you just want to try it out for a few days. The last thing I want to tell you about is about my services on Fiverr.com. Right now there's not too many of them there, depending on when you're watching this video. But what you can do is you can sign up for $5 and get like a small collection of videos around a certain subject to help you learn that. Like if you want a bunch of rhythm videos to help you out, rather than signing up for my academy month to month, this is like another option for you. You can basically just get a collection of videos around a certain topic to enhance your music education if you decide to go that avenue. You can head over to Fiverr.com and check my services out. So again, I just want to say, last thing, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it or you thought it was too easy for you, check out some of my other stuff on the internet, and you'd be surprised how tough some of the videos are and some of the assignments are, especially later on, because the Lessons on the Web Academy has a bunch of classes, which is really just a group of videos together along with practice assignments. And some of the harder classes are, I think, are pretty challenging. Some of the other students think so as well. So if you're looking for more challenge, or you're just looking to, or if you want more review of the basics, like what we talked about in this video, I've got some things over there for you as well. So again, thanks. That's all I can really say. And have a great day, and I'll see you for the next lesson. Thank you very much.